Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by director, writer, and producer. Her latest film is Mixtape Trilogy on the unique relationships between musicians and their fans. We welcome Kathleen Ermitage.
Hi, how are you?
Absolutely great. Kathleen, let's go beyond the mic. Musicians are unusual people. They have their own darkness and pains inside them, their own little Piccadillys. Fans think they know the artists. How did the writing and producing of this film change the way that you see music?
Wow, that's a great question. Yeah, it's 7 a.m. here. You're really starting with a giant question. I need more coffee. No, I'll come up with something. Let's see. How did it change? Well, I think that what I was really touched by when we were interviewing these musicians was their willingness and their openness to show us the process for making their music and the creation of the pieces. A lot of musicians don't like to do that because they like to maintain sort of this mysterious quality about their process. But part of what we got to do was kind of pull the curtain back and see how some of that comes together. And I think that what we wanted to show in the film, and I hope that we achieved, is that connection. So what is happening? What is that mysterious process that's happening in the creation of the music? But then how is that connection made to the listener, the audience member? And so that you have pieces of music that are lifelong friends. I think that's kind of maybe my biggest takeaway was I was grateful that they let us see that and invited us in, and we got to watch it happen in a way.
So who are the artists and bands that you're fans of, and how did this film change the way you look at them?
Well, all of the people in our film I am fans of, for sure.
So that's why you picked them.
But no, I also, I love the Clash. I love kind of the anti-authoritarian ethos of the Clash, I guess. And I love great, female singers like Aretha Franklin, jazz, Miles Davis. I think I do listen to music differently now because I have my own sort of mixtape of my life. And there's certain songs across the period of my life that I can mark the event, as going through a breakup, or I was driving the car to get from here to there, or, one example I like to use is that who hasn't been in the car listening to a song and been driving and crying? That's a very intimate sort of experience that you're having with people that you never meet. Most of us don't meet any of these artists, right? Any of our favorite musicians. So I think for me, those musicians, The Clash, Aretha Franklin, Miles Davis, they mark certain points in my life. And I think most of us have that in our kind of musical experience.
What's the common link between these three artists you picked? Did they change the way that you looked at a certain thing?
Well, all the artists that we chose, like I said, I'm fans of. They each, I think, possess a quality to convey a little bit, I don't want to say higher order, but they're doing something with their music that has a little to do with connecting with their audience and with their listeners, of course, but they're also making a larger statement about something in our society. And I felt like as we were making this film, I was a little confused by a lot of things that were going on in our country. And I think that these artists address that. They bring a little bit of comfort to that. It's about community and bringing people together instead of being, divisive.
Speaking of connecting, how has your work as co-owner of Stepping Stones helped kids connect with their future?
Yeah, that is a company that I had a while ago. I used to work in educational publishing, and I made educational videos, and they were for kids. Demand a Horizon is the production company that I started to make this film.
Her film is Mixtape Trilogy, and we welcome Kathleen Ermitage just in time for the Rockin' 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Kathleen, there is no pressure. Last Cubs game you ever saw that didn't involve filming or work?
Went to a game the last game I went to was probably 2016, the year they won the World Series, but I wasn't at a World Series game.
You probably would like to be there for that.
I would have liked that, yes. It's no lie.
What's the best breakfast place in Denver?
Snooze.
How about your favorite place on the Northwestern campus?
Oh, that's a great question. University Hall.
What's the most snow you've seen in a 24-hour period?
Probably when I was 10 years old and living in the Chicago area. Yeah, there was I think it was 2 to 3 feet.
What or who melts instantly your heart?
My nieces and nephews.
Who influenced you to grow up to be a filmmaker?
John Scheinfeld.
You brought it up with the name of your film, so I got to ask, when was the last time you made a mixtape?
Oh, long time ago. I don't have a cassette player anymore.
And who is the person you made it for?
Probably my best friend.
What song best describes your life?
I'm going to just say So What by Miles Davis because I can't think of anything else.
Where can people find the film?
It's going to be streaming on Amazon and iTunes and Google Play and some of the cable, what is it? In Demand, AT&T, DirecTV, and Dish.
It's time for One Big Question with director, writer, and producer of Mixtape Trilogy, Kathleen Ermitage, beyond the mic. Kathleen, what's the best and worst thing about a film festival?
Oh, God, that's such a good question. We've been to so many. The best thing is meeting other filmmakers and seeing their work. Oh, my God, there's so many incredible things out there that most of us don't ever see, and there's great work there. The worst thing, some of the chaotic nature of it can be a little trying, getting from event to event and seeing things that you want to do your best. You want to be on time. You want to kind of perform, every time you're out somewhere as promoting your film. And for somebody who's can be a little more introverted, that can be challenging.
Her nieces and nephews melt her heart. She last made a mixtape a bit ago, but it was for her friend. Her favorite breakfast place is called Snooze. Check out her film Mixtape Trilogy. We thank director, writer, producer Kathleen Ermitage for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you.
And that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut.